meditation was hard for me for the obvious reasons. Sitting still and concentrating on one thing or nothing at all for me is pretty impossible. It would calm me down, but I, of course, resisted it. Journaling was hit or miss. I would do it if I was told to, but it never stuck as something I wanted to continue doing on my own. I always envy those people who have books and books full of journals. I have many journals that like the first 3 pages are started, and then, and then I moved on to the next one for the next retreat I went on. Oh, another journal, I'm going to start again, 3 pages in. Now my son has drawn all over most of them. And the same went for reading scriptures. So I started thinking, wasn't my prayer life supposed to be this gift that I can treasure? But it started to feel like work, and it was very stressful for me, and it's been hit or miss like that for a while. More recently, I decided to meet with a spiritual director and to revisit my prayer life. So I felt I needed more structure, discipline, and of course, I thought I was doing something wrong. I must be doing something wrong. I don't know how to do it right. This isn't the way I see everybody else doing it. So this relationship has been such a gift and a blessing to me. And I expressed a desire to learn how to pray because I had gotten too busy in my life, and I stopped being present for my own spiritual life. And I started feeling the physical, not only the emotional ramifications, I started feeling the physical ramifications of that. And since I was looking for structure, that's how we started. He suggested certain readings, and I was to read the passage, sit in silence, meditate on it, journal, and, to what had come to me, and then we would sit and discuss any observations or revelations that came to me. I did it as I was told, of course, but my usual challenges arose. Finding the time to actually sit and be still and devote time to this, getting silent, very hard for me, getting my intellect out of the way, and then also my need to control the outcome. I was already trying to think what messages I would hear before I even allowed myself to sit and be present for that. So I knew these challenges going in. Over time, we discovered that wasn't working for me. We discussed what happened to me organically and where I was able to be still, and, when I spoke to God and what I was getting from that. And I was resisting what was right and natural for me, a prayer life that would fit in my lifestyle. I kept trying to put myself into somebody else's lifestyle as opposed to the other way around. And there was no right or wrong way to do it, as long as, I was connecting to God and I was growing from it, that was right. So sometimes in my prayer life, God begins the conversation. Sometimes I bring something forward. And other times, when I feel too busy, and distracted, it is less obvious. But there are days when I feel stretched so thin, but if I'm meeting with a student or a staff member, I really try to be present and loving while we talk, because just sending them all the love that I have while we're meeting to make that connection, to hopefully make them feel safe, I see that as prayer in action for me. And, if that's all I can give at that moment, I'm going to try to be there for them at that point. So when I open myself up to the life's questions, rather than struggling for answers, because my practical managerial mind always wants to move towards the answers, I find a deeper level of questions and insights and true connection to God. My spirituality becomes tangible for me in those moments.